Your future earnings are my retirement plan. She said it with a smile, like it was romantic, like it was obvious. We were at Delaney's Steakhouse on West 54th. Candlelight, 2 glasses of Pinot Noir. Her hand resting on my wrist like she owned it. I laughed at first. You're joking. Madison tilted her head. Why would I joke about security? Security? Yes, she leaned in. You're about to make partner at Whitmore and Klein. 7 figures by 40. I'm not stupid, Ethan. The waiter set down our plates. Neither of us touched them. I pulled my hand back slowly. My career isn't a pension fund. Her smile faded just slightly. It's called planning. For what? For us. There it was. Us. A word she used like a contract. By the time we got home to the condo on East 87th, she was irritated. You're being dramatic, she said, tossing her purse on the marble island. I'm being realistic. You're insecure. Insecure. She crossed her arms. You don't like that I'm thinking long-term. You're talking about my income like it's already yours. It will be. The words hung in the air. I stared at her. We're not even married yet. She shrugged. We're engaged. That's not the same. It is if you're not planning on leaving. That one landed differently. I walked to my office. She followed. You know what? She snapped. This is exactly why I handle the big picture. The big picture? Yes, you bury yourself in cases. I think about the life we'll have. With my money. With our money. You don't work. I consult. You've had 1 client in 8 months. She went quiet, then cold. So that's what this is about. This is about you saying my future earnings are your retirement plan. She stepped closer. You're going to resent me for not grinding 60-hour weeks like you. No, I'm going to resent you for assuming ownership over something I haven't even earned yet. She laughed softly. You're overreacting. Am I? Yes. She walked out. Spin it however you want, she called over her shoulder. But you're going to take care of me. That's how this works. I didn't sleep that night. At 3:14 a.m., I sat in the dark with my laptop open. Net worth spreadsheet. Liquid savings, $1.2 million. Brokerage, $3.8 million. Equity in condo, $900,000. Pre-partnership equity interest, confidential. I stared at the numbers. Then I replayed her voice. Your future earnings are my retirement plan. It wasn't affection. It was entitlement. I opened another tab. Irrevocable Trust Asset Protection, New York. 2 weeks later, I sat in a glass-walled office on Lexington Avenue across from Martin Feldman. White hair, impeccable suit, no nonsense. You're not married yet, he asked. No. And she has no ownership in your premarital assets. Correct. Then why the urgency? Because I'm about to become very visible. He studied me. And you don't trust her? I didn't answer immediately. I don't trust the way she talks about money. He nodded slowly. Smart. He pulled a yellow legal pad closer. An irrevocable trust will remove assets from your personal ownership. If structured properly, they're no longer marital property. Even after marriage. Yes. Can she contest it? She can try. Would she win? If you do this before marriage, with proper documentation and no commingling, unlikely. I leaned back. How much can I move? How much do you want protected? 90%. He raised an eyebrow. That's aggressive. So am I. When I told Madison I had meetings with the state council, she smiled approvingly. See, she said, you are thinking long-term. Yes, I replied evenly. I am. She didn't ask details. She assumed alignment. That was her mistake. Over the next month, we built it quietly. The Hawthorne Irrevocable Trust. Trustee, independent corporate fiduciary. Beneficiaries, future children. Select charitable allocations. Grantor retained no direct access. Assets transferred, $3.4 million brokerage. $900,000 condo equity via deed restructuring. 70% of future partnership distributions assigned to trust. I signed everything in a conference room at 7:40 p.m. Feldman slid the final document across. Once this is executed, he said, you can't undo it. I know. You won't be able to access most of this. That's the point. He held my gaze. You're protecting against divorce. I'm protecting against assumption. He nodded once. I signed. 3 months later, I made partner. The firm announcement went out at 8 a.m. By 8:03, my phone exploded. By 8:07, Madison was in my arms, laughing. I told you, she squealed. I told you. She kissed me hard. We did it. I didn't correct her. That night, she invited 12 people to celebrate. Champagne, loud music, plans. At one point, I overheard her in the kitchen with her friend Leela. I mean, I won't have to worry about money ever, Madison said. Leela laughed, must be nice. Madison's voice lowered, smug. His income alone covers retirement. I'm basically set. I stood in the hallway, listening. Does he know that? Leela asked jokingly. Madison laughed. He will. The shift happened 6 months later. Wedding planning, guest list battles, venue deposits. She wanted the plaza. I wanted something smaller. You can afford it, she said flatly. That's not the point. It literally is the point. I don't want to spend $500,000 on one night. She stared at me like I'd insulted her. You're acting cheap. I'm being responsible. You're a partner at Whitmore and Klein. And this is our brand. Our brand? Yes. We're not a corporation. She rolled her eyes. You don't get optics. I get budgets. She crossed her arms. This is what I was afraid of. What? That you'd hoard everything. I'm not hoarding. You are. Her voice dropped sharp. You're acting like I have no stake. You don't. Silence. What did you just say? I held her gaze. You don't. The explosion was immediate. What does that mean? It means my assets are structured. Structured how? Protected. She stepped closer. From who? From risk. From me. If necessary. Her face flushed. Are you serious? Yes. You think I'm after your money. I think you talk about it like it's yours. It will be when we're married. Not the way you think. She stared at me. What did you do? I didn't answer. Ethan, what did you do? I placed most of my assets in an irrevocable trust. The room went dead. You what? 90%. Her mouth opened. Closed. You can't do that. I did. That's marital property. Premarital transfer. She shook her head. No, 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 no. Yes. You're lying. I'm not. She grabbed her phone. I need to call my dad. Her father arrived the next morning. Harold Bennett, former real estate developer, loud, opinionated. He sat across from me at the dining table. You're telling me, he said slowly, you moved your money where my daughter can't access it. Yes. He leaned back. That's a lack of trust. That's asset protection. You're planning for divorce before marriage. I'm planning for clarity. Madison stood behind him, arms wrapped around herself. This is humiliating, she whispered. What's humiliating? I asked calmly. That I protected what I built. Harold slammed his palm on the table. She's your future wife, and not my retirement plan. Madison flinched. You're punishing me, she said. For what? For believing in you. No, I said quietly, for assuming ownership. 3 days later, I was served. Petition for declaratory judgment. She was challenging the trust. Claim, fraudulent conveyance in anticipation of marriage. I stared at the papers in my office. My associate knocked. Everything okay? Not yet. Courtroom 12B. Supreme Court, New York County. Madison sat beside her attorney. I sat beside Feldman. Her attorney spoke first. Your Honor, Mr. Hawthorne transferred the majority of his assets into an irrevocable trust shortly before marriage to deliberately deprive my client of equitable distribution. The judge adjusted her glasses. Were they married at the time of transfer? No, Your Honors. Engaged. Yes. The judge looked at me. Mr. Hawthorne. Feldman stood. All transfers were lawful premarital and fully disclosed to financial institutions. No commingling occurred. Madison's attorney pressed on. This was done in bad faith. The judge leaned forward. Miss Bennett, did Mr. Hawthorne promise you access to these assets? Madison swallowed. No. Was there a prenuptial agreement? No. Were you financially dependent on him at the time? Silence. Yes. The judge nodded slowly. Dependency does not equal entitlement. Madison's face crumpled slightly. Her attorney tried again. He structured his future partnership distributions. Premarital assignment, Feldman cut in. Permissible. The judge reviewed the trust documents. 10 long minutes. Finally, the trust stands. The gavel fell. Madison didn't look at me. Outside the courthouse, she grabbed my sleeve. You planned this? Yes. You never intended to share. I intended to share life, not be used. Her eyes filled. You think I would have left you if you weren't rich. I think you liked the guarantee. She stepped back like I'd slapped her. I loved you. I know, I said softly, but you loved the security more. Her father approached. This isn't over. I met his gaze. It is. The wedding was canceled that night. She sent a text. We need space. I replied. We need honesty. She didn't respond. 2 months later, I heard from a mutual friend that Madison was dating a tech founder. I didn't feel angry. I felt confirmed. 6 months after that, I stood in the same office on Lexington. Feldman handed me a summary. Your trust has appreciated 14%. I nodded. And you're still comfortable without direct access? Yes. He studied me. No regrets. I thought about Madison's voice at Delaney's. Your future earnings are my retirement plan. No, I said, no regrets. A year later, I ran into her at a charity gala. She looked stunning. Controlled. She approached me first. I heard you're doing well. I am. She hesitated. I misread you. I know. I thought protecting yourself meant you didn't care. It meant I cared about the right things. She nodded. Would you ever have shared it? Yes, I said honestly, with someone who didn't assume it. She looked down. I thought I was entitled. You were confident. She gave a small, sad smile. And you weren't spineless. No. We stood there in silence. Then she said quietly, you won. I shook my head. This wasn't about winning. What was it about? Respect. She absorbed that, then walked away. That night I went home alone. Quiet condo. City lights through the windows. I opened the trust dashboard. Number steady. Protected. Not because I was afraid, but because I refused to be someone's retirement strategy. She thought my earnings were her plan. So I made a better one. One she couldn't touch.